Let's unlock some serious potential today. We're going deep, deep into a speech by Dr. Monique Rogers.
Oh, Dr. Rogers.
Yeah, and she's fascinating. So she built this really successful tech company, right, from basically nothing.
From scratch.
From scratch. And she also happens to be an organizational psychologist.
Wow.
So she gets, like, both sides of the coin. You know, she gets the people, the human side of things.
The theory.
Yeah, the theory, the practice.
And the practice.
All of it.
That's a powerful combination.
It really is.
Yeah, and you can tell in her speech, she just brings this really unique perspective.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she shares, like, real-world lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Book recommendations.
Oh, so many good books.
And then these actionable takeaways. You can just, like, put them into practice right away.
Absolutely. And the thing that I love about her message, it's all about helping you, the listener.
Yeah.
Like helping you discover that potential that's already within you.
Oh, I love that. Whether you're leading a team, maybe you're trying to spark some creative breakthroughs.
Right. Yeah.
Or even launching your own, like, entrepreneurial
Venture?
Yes.
It's like we're at a conference right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just soaking up like all this energy
Totally.
of all these other driven people. And Dr. Rogers is right there on stage.
Yeah, I can picture it.
Sharing like her incredible journey.
Okay, so picture this. It's the early 90s.
Okay.
Dr. Rogers and her business partner.
Okay.
They have this vision, right? Passion.
Tons of it, I bet.
Oh, tons of it pouring out of them. And, wait for it,
Okay.
$300. That's it.
Wow.
To their name.
That's all they had.
That's how they launched ARRC Technology.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
If that doesn't scream potential.
I don't know what does.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's amazing. Like that shows how far you can go with limited resources.
Right.
If you've got a clear vision, that's amazing.
Vision and passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I think is so cool about her story is that her early leadership lessons, they weren't learned in, like, some fancy MBA program.
Oh, so true.
Right. They were forged in the trenches
Yeah.
of building an actual business.
In the real world.
Yeah. So one of those hard-won lessons, right, came from a mistake.
Oh.
Yeah. So they lost a client
Oof.
because of a communication breakdown.
Oh, that's tough.
You think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Like, we often think about leadership, like giving directions, making those big decisions, taking charge.
Right, being in control.
Yeah, but what she learned, it all starts with something way more fundamental, I think.
What's that?
Listening.
Oh, listening. Yeah.
It's here.
We have 2 ears and one mouth for a reason, right?
I just think. But it's so easy. Like, in the rush to impress clients or to solve those problems, to just jump in. Like, how often do we actually just, like, stop?
Yeah, just be quiet for a second.
Be quiet and truly listen.
Yeah.
And understand, like, what are their needs?
Right. What are they actually saying? What are they struggling with?
It's a trap.
It's such a trap. I've fallen into it so many times.
Oh, me too.
And Dr. Rogers, she realized to be a really great leader, she needed to ask the right questions.
Oh, totally.
And really dig deep.
Not just the surface level.
No.
Oh.
To understand what the client was dealing with.
So she basically went from jumping into solutions to becoming a master at asking questions.
I love that.
Right. And that's something you can start doing today.
Really?
Like right now.
Wow.
In any interaction, right? Whether it's with, people you work with, your team clients, or even, like, your family.
Oh, that's so true.
Right. Like, how often do we just not really listen?
We think we are.
Yeah.
But we're not really.
Okay, now, building on this idea of connection,
oh, great.
Right? Of connecting with people, Dr. Rogers, she also emphasizes how important it is to grow your network.
Yes.
But not just with people in your field,
right.
But beyond that, like beyond your comfort zone.
Push those boundaries.
Yeah, and she actually credits this book, Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Leader.
Oh, I love that book.
It's by Herminia Ibarra.
Yes.
And she credits that book for kind of inspiring her to do this, to reach out to people that, maybe she wouldn't normally connect with.
That's so interesting.
This really resonates with me.
Does it?
Because I've found that some of the best, like, insights and opportunities, they've come from those unexpected connections.
Oh, tell me more.
People outside of my industry, even those in, like, totally different fields.
Oh, yeah.
They offer, like, a fresh perspective.
Totally different ways of looking at things.
Yeah, that I wouldn't have found otherwise.
I love that. It's like cross-pollinating ideas.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dr. Rogers and her business partner, they took this to heart, you know.
Oh, yeah.
They were networking with people in, industry groups,
Right?
potential partners,
Hmm.
and even get this, their competitors.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that wild?
Like, on the surface, they might seem like rivals.
Yeah.
But when you approach those connections with genuine curiosity
Yeah.
and a willingness to learn,
Mm-hmm.
you can unlock so much potential.
You really can. That's it. It's being open to learning from anywhere,
Yeah.
from these unexpected sources.
Okay, so imagine you're
Okay.
building this thriving business, you've nailed the client relationships,
It's going great.
everything's amazing,
Eh.
and then bam,
Oh, no.
major crisis hits.
Uh-oh.
So Dr. Rogers shares how one of their clients
Okay.
was hit by a ransomware attack.
Oh, no.
I know. Talk about a high-stakes situation.
That's scary.
Right. Like, it would be so easy
Yeah.
to panic
Right.
or to get caught up in the blame game.
Oh, for sure.
But Dr. Rogers and her team,
Mm.
they did something remarkable.
What's that?
They focused on solutions,
Right.
not just for their client, but for the whole industry.
Wow.
This is where I think you really see, like, true leadership,
Yeah.
resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Setbacks are gonna happen,
Oh, for sure.
no matter what you're doing.
Doesn't matter what you're doing, you're going to have setbacks.
But it's how you respond
Yeah.
that defines you.
That's so true.
And Dr. Rogers' story, it's just this powerful reminder
It is.
that even when you're facing a crisis,
Yeah.
there's an opportunity to demonstrate strength,
Yeah.
adaptability, problem-solving skills.
All those great things.
Okay, and here's the best part.
Yep.
They didn't just solve the immediate problem for their client. They
Yeah.
turned the whole experience into a new business opportunity.
No way.
Yes. They developed this cybersecurity offering
Oh, smart.
that became one of their signature services.
Wow. So they turned that challenge into a strength.
Talk about turning a challenge
Mhm.
into a competitive advantage.
That's incredible. I love that.
Right. It's a brilliant example
Yeah.
of how reframing a negative situation
Yeah.
can actually spark innovation.
It's so true.
They took something that honestly could have been devastating.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And they transformed it into a catalyst for growth.
That's so powerful.
Think about that for a second. How often, do we let challenges just derail us?
Oh, it happens all the time.
Totally.
It's so easy to get discouraged.
But what if we shifted our perspective
Mm.
and looked at them as opportunities
Right.
to pivot, to adapt, to come out stronger on the other side?
I mean, that's a question we should all be asking ourselves.
All the time, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit
Okay, I'm ready.
and dive into Dr. Rogers' insights on creativity.
Ooh, I love this topic.
Yeah, and she emphasizes that it's not just for artists or designers.
Yeah,
It's crucial for any business.
that's true.
Even something, as technical as IT services.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but it's true.
And she uses a great example to illustrate this point.
Okay, I'm listening.
Early on, ARRC, they offered this one-size-fits-all IT package.
Okay.
They thought it would, simplify things for clients.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense, yeah.
Right, keep it simple.
Streamline things.
But guess what?
What?
It flopped.
Oh, no.
It didn't work.
No, it's so easy
Yeah,
to assume we know
right.
what's best
Oh, absolutely.
for our clients, for customers.
Yeah.
But Dr. Rogers highlights that creativity, real creativity,
Mm-hmm.
starts with understanding
Your needs.
their unique needs
Yeah.
and tailoring the solutions to fit those needs.
Makes sense.
Right.
It's not one size fits all.
Not one size fits all.
Yeah.
What's so fascinating here
Yeah.
is that instead of viewing this flop, right,
Yeah.
as a failure,
Yeah.
they embraced it.
It's as a valuable learning experience.
I like that.
Dr. Rogers, she even mentions this book, Creativity, Inc.
Oh, yeah, Ed Catmull.
by Ed Catmull.
I love that book.
And he's the president of Pixar.
That's right.
And he argues that failure, it's not something to be feared,
Oh, wow.
but it's an essential ingredient in the creative process.
Interesting.
Like, he actually encourages people to embrace failure.
To embrace failure.
Just see it as an opportunity to learn and improve.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not about being perfect.
No.
It's not about avoiding mistakes.
No.
It's about seeing them as like these data points
Yeah.
that can help us like with future decisions.
Totally. And that's exactly what Dr. Rogers and her team did. They listened to client feedback, went back to the drawing board, and instead of that one-size-fits-all approach, they created a modular service that let clients like customize their IT solutions.
So they took the feedback and they used it.
They used it
to improve.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a great reminder that sometimes our biggest breakthroughs, right?
Yeah.
Come from acknowledging what didn't work and being willing to pivot.
That's so important.
Like change directions.
Right.
Try something new.
Now this ties into another key concept that Dr. Rogers highlights, the growth mindset.
Oh, I love the growth mindset.
Which she learned from the work of Carol Dweck.
Yes, Carol Dweck.
Right. I love her work.
And so instead of seeing, these challenges as threats, she encourages us to view them as opportunities for growth.
That's a good reframe. Right.
It's a powerful shift in perspective.
It really is. Because with a growth mindset, you're not afraid to make mistakes.
No.
Because, they're part of learning.
Yeah, they're part of
You're always trying to improve. You're trying to like stretch your abilities.
Yeah.
And just embrace new challenges.
Love it.
It's so good.
And Dr. Rogers, she shares this fantastic example of this. So a client complained.
Oh, no.
I know. About their response times being too slow.
Right.
And instead of like getting defensive, Dr. Rogers and her team, they took this feedback to heart.
I love that.
They developed these automation tools that drastically improve their efficiency.
Oh, that's smart.
And they actually turned that client complaint into like a competitive advantage for the company.
That's amazing. That's a perfect example of a growth mindset.
It is.
Turning something that could be negative into a positive outcome.
Right. Like instead of viewing that complaint as a personal attack.
Right.
They used it as a way to learn and improve.
To grow.
Yeah.
This is something we can all apply.
Oh, yeah.
In all areas of our lives.
Doesn't matter what you're doing.
If we're leading a team, if we're working on a creative project, if we're just trying to like get better at a personal skill, anything.
Anything. It's like when we encounter obstacles, do we see them as roadblocks or as springboards for development?
That's such a good question.
It's a powerful question.
It really is.
To ask ourselves.
Now, here's something. This might surprise you.
Okay.
Dr. Rogers also emphasizes rest.
Rest.
Yeah, like taking breaks.
Oh, interesting.
She even references the research of Mary Helen Imordino Yang.
Okay.
And she's shown that downtime, it's not a waste of time.
Okay.
It's essential.
For what?
For creative breakthroughs.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I used to think that like I had to be on all the time.
I know that feeling.
Constantly working, pushing myself to achieve more.
Yeah.
But I've learned.
What have you learned?
That when I give myself permission to rest.
Yeah.
To step away from the problem. That's often when I have like my most creative and innovative solutions.
It's because when we let our minds wander, when we like disconnect from all the noise, all the information.
This constant stimulation.
Yeah. Our brains can make new connections.
Oh.
And generate fresh ideas.
It's like those aha moments.
Yes.
Like you're in the shower, you're taking a walk.
Exactly. The idea hits you.
It hits you.
Out of nowhere.
And it's not that the shower is generating the idea.
Right.
It's that you finally gave your mind the space to make those connections.
And that ties back to why conferences and immersive learning experiences are so valuable.
Like the one Dr. Rogers is speaking at.
Exactly.
You could give us that space.
The dedicated time.
To step back from the daily grind.
Yeah.
Soak up new information and to let those creative breakthroughs happen.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's smoothly transition to the final piece of the puzzle.
Ooh, the final piece.
Entrepreneurship.
I love it. This is where
it all comes together.
Leadership, creativity, they come together.
They merge.
They merge to turn a vision into reality.
So exciting.
And Dr. Rogers, she highlights that it all starts with curiosity and experimentation.
I like it.
She shares how a simple question.
Okay, what question?
What if we could make IT effortless?
Interesting.
That question, that sparked a journey
Oh, wow.
of testing and refining.
Yeah.
That led to one of their most successful
I
offerings.
love that. Just starting with a question.
A simple question.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that book, The Innovator's DNA,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
which emphasizes like the role of questioning and experimenting in the entrepreneurial process.
Right. It's about being willing to try new things.
Right.
To step outside your comfort zone.
And to embrace
The unknown.
the unknown, the uncertainty.
Yeah. And it's not just about individual brilliance, it's
No.
about collaboration.
Oh, for sure.
So Dr. Rogers shares a story
Okay.
about how their backup and disaster recovery unit,
Okay.
it actually originated from a team member's suggestion
Really?
during a brainstorming session.
That's so cool.
So the takeaway here, great ideas
Yeah.
can come from anyone.
Anyone on the team.
I love that.
That's such a powerful message.
It is.
And it just shows that we shouldn't underestimate the collective
Well,
wisdom
for sure.
a team.
Right. You don't have to be the CEO or the idea person
Exactly.
to contribute something valuable.
You can contribute no matter what your role is.
Yeah, it's about creating that culture
Yeah.
where everyone feels empowered to
Well,
share their perspectives.
Even if they seem a little out there, you know?
Okay, so we've got the ideas flowing,
Okay, we're brainstorming.
but how do we make them a reality?
That's the next step.
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Rogers stresses how important it is
Yeah.
to pitch ideas effectively.
Oh, so important.
Oh, she even mentions this book, How to Pitch an Idea,
I love that book.
by Scott Birkin.
Scott Birkin, it's a classic.
Yeah. And it offers some great, insights on this topic.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter how brilliant your idea is,
Yeah,
if you can't communicate it,
right.
effectively.
It's true.
It's got to resonate with your audience.
Okay, so what's, Dr. Rogers' approach to this?
Well, she says, start by clearly identifying the problem.
Okay.
So, paint a vivid picture
Yeah.
of the challenge, the pain point
Right.
that your idea is going to address.
So don't just jump into the solution.
No.
Don't be like, here's this amazing thing.
Right.
Right.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Set it up.
Help people understand what the problem is.
Yeah.
Why they should care.
Create that sense of urgency.
That's so important.
Right. It's like you're setting the stage
Oh, yeah.
before the main act.
You got to hook the audience.
Get them invested.
Get them invested in the story.
Yeah, before you reveal the big solution.
And once you've established that problem,
Yeah.
then you can, seamlessly transition
Yeah.
to presenting your solution as the answer.
As the answer to their problem.
Highlight those benefits.
The value. How it actually solves
Yeah,
those pain points.
that you've laid out.
It's such a simple framework,
It is.
but it's so powerful.
I love that.
And you can use it anywhere.
Anywhere.
If you're pitching a new product,
Right.
if you're trying to get funding from somebody,
Yeah.
or even just getting buy-in from your team at work.
Totally.
It's so versatile.
And it ties back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
About communication and leadership.
Absolutely.
It's not enough.
It's not enough to just have good ideas.
to just have those great ideas.
Yeah. You got to be able to communicate them
Yeah.
in a way that inspires other people
Yeah, to take action.
to get on board.
That's where the true power, I think,
Yeah.
of unlocking your potential lies.
It all comes down to communication.
It's the ability to combine your vision,
Yeah.
your creativity, and those communication skills
To make a real impact.
to make a real impact on the world.
I love it.
Yeah.
Welcome back. As we kind of go deeper into Dr. Rogers' speech,
Yeah.
what really strikes me
Mm-hmm.
is how her journey, it resonates with so many of us.
It does.
We all face those challenges,
Yeah.
setbacks,
Mhm.
moments where we need to tap into that inner resilience.
Totally. It's like she's giving us a roadmap almost.
Yeah.
For navigating those ups and downs of,
Yeah.
of not only, building a business,
Right.
but life in general.
That's true.
Right.
It applies to everything.
Yeah. And speaking of roadmaps,
Okay.
let's revisit those book recommendations.
Yes.
It's
That
real-
she mentioned.
Let's dive back into those.
So remember how Dr. Rogers, she highlighted the importance of expanding your network
Yeah.
beyond your immediate circle.
Pushing those boundaries.
Right.
Getting outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, and she specifically credited Herminia Ibarra's book, Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Leader.
Such a good book.
I know, right?
So good.
For inspiring her to connect with people outside of her comfort zone.
Now think about your own network for a minute.
Okay.
Are you actively seeking out those connections
Ooh.
with people who can like challenge your thinking, introduce you to new perspectives, open up like possibilities you hadn't even considered?
That's a great question
It is, isn't it?
to ask ourselves because it's so easy to
Yeah.
just get like stuck in our own little bubbles,
I know.
surrounded by people who think and act just like us.
Yeah, you got to break out of that echo chamber.
You do.
And that's why Amar's book is so valuable. I think so too.
Because she encourages us to really like break out of those
Mm.
bubbles and to view networking as an opportunity for growth,
Yeah.
for expansion.
Not just about collecting business cards,
No,
right?
it's not about that.
Or attending like industry events just to be seen.
Right. It's about really engaging with people
Yeah.
who can help you
Yeah.
see the world differently and push you to think bigger. So much bigger.
Okay, let's shift gears
Okay, let's go.
to another book
Okay.
that Dr. Rogers mentioned,
All right.
Creativity Inc.
Oh, by Ed Catmull.
by Ed Catmull. Love that one.
Right.
So good.
And that's the one about like fostering creativity and innovation within a company, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like how do you actually create that environment where those things can thrive?
And what's so fascinating is that Catmull,
Yeah.
as the president of Pixar Animation Studios, I mean, come on. He knows a thing or two about creativity.
He does. He argues that failure
Okay.
is not something to be feared,
Okay.
but it's an essential ingredient
Interesting.
in the creative process.
Like he's saying we need to fail.
He's saying embrace it.
Okay.
See it as an opportunity to learn and improve.
That's a very different way of looking at things
Eh,
than I think a lot of us are used to.
Think about it.
Yeah.
How often do we try to avoid making mistakes?
Oh, all the time.
Right. Like we want to play it safe.
Yeah, we want to stick to what we know.
Stick to what we know. But what Catmull and Dr. Rogers are suggesting
Yeah.
is that it's actually the opposite. It's through our failures that we gain those valuable insights, discover new approaches, and ultimately achieve those breakthrough results.
So it's not about being perfect.
No.
It's about learning from those missteps.
And Dr. Rogers' story about that one-size-fits-all IP package,
Right.
that flopped.
Yeah.
Is a perfect example of that.
They could have just given up.
They could have.
Right.
But they didn't.
And instead they used it as like fuel to create a much more successful modular service.
It's about having that courage
Yeah.
to experiment, to take risks,
Yeah.
and to view those setbacks not as defeats,
Right.
but as opportunities to pivot
Yeah.
and to improve.
No, this ties into another key concept that Dr. Rogers highlights, that growth mindset.
Oh, I love the growth mindset.
Right. Remember how she emphasized
Yeah.
that it's all about like viewing those challenges as opportunities for growth?
It's so easy to like get caught up in negative self-talk
Oh, yeah.
when things aren't going our way.
Totally.
But a growth mindset encourages us to reframe those challenges as learning experiences.
As like data points almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Right.
A growth mindset, it's not just some like fluffy self-help concepts.
Right.
It's backed by research.
Okay.
Especially the work of Carol Dweck, who Dr. Rogers mentioned in her speech.
Yeah, I love her work.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And Dweck's research has shown that people with a growth mindset, they're more resilient.
Okay.
They're more persistent.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they're more successful
Interesting.
in achieving their goals.
So it's not just about feeling good.
No, it's not about that.
It's about actually
It's about results.
getting results.
It's about like achieving what you set out to do.
They don't shy away from challenges.
No, they don't.
Right. They see them
They embrace them.
as opportunities to stretch their abilities.
And to learn something new.
Yeah, I love that quote. Like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right. But in this case, it's not just about surviving.
Right.
It's about using those challenges to fuel your growth.
Like, how did Dr. Rogers do that?
Well, think about that client complaint.
Yeah.
About the response times. Instead of getting defensive,
Right.
she and her team, they used it as a springboard.
Okay.
To develop those automation tools.
Yeah.
That not only improve their efficiency,
Right.
but it gave them a competitive edge.
It's amazing
Because
how a growth mindset can just
fully transform
a potentially negative situation.
Give you something positive.
To a positive outcome.
It really is remarkable.
Now, here's a question for you,
okay,
the listener. Think about a recent challenge that you faced. Did you approach it with a fixed mindset?
Okay.
Believing that your abilities were set in stone?
Right.
Or did you embrace that growth mindset,
Yeah.
seeing it as an opportunity to learn and improve?
It's a question we should all be asking ourselves.
It is.
Because our mindset, it can have a huge impact on how we navigate those challenges.
Totally.
And ultimately on our overall success.
Okay, now let's talk about another book.
Okay, another book.
That Dr. Rogers recommended.
Okay, I'm ready.
The Innovator's DNA by Dyer, Gregerson, and Christensen.
That's a good one.
Right. And this one kind of dives into the 5 key skills that drive innovative thinking.
I love this. So what are those skills?
Well, let's go through them.
Okay.
So associating,
questioning, observing, networking, and experimenting.
I love these. Okay, break those down for me.
Okay, so associating is all about like making connections.
Okay.
Between seemingly unrelated ideas or concepts.
So like thinking outside the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's it.
It's about like drawing inspiration from all these diverse sources and finding those unexpected connections.
Okay. What about questioning? What's that all about? So questioning is about challenging the status quo.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Asking why.
Why?
What if?
What if?
And just constantly seeking new and better ways.
Of doing things.
Don't
just accept things as they are.
Right.
Question everything.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's about being curious.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to challenge those assumptions.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so we've got associating, questioning. What's next?
Observing.
What's that about?
So this is about like paying close attention to the world around you.
We're noticing things.
Noticing those details that others might miss.
Okay.
And gleaning insights from those everyday experiences.
It's like being a detective.
Yes.
Always looking for clues.
Always looking for those clues, right? That can lead to new ideas.
I love that.
And then networking, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah, we touched on that.
It's about, building relationships with people who can offer those different perspectives,
right?
Challenge your thinking, introduce you to those new possibilities.
Okay, and last but not least,
experimenting.
I bet I know what this one's about.
So this is about like taking action, trying new things, learning from both
successes
and failures.
It's about embracing that mindset.
Yeah.
Of continuous learning,
constant learning,
improvement,
getting better all the time.
And what's so fascinating is that the authors of the Innovator's DNA, they argue that these 5 skills, they're not like innate talents.
Okay.
They're learned behaviors.
You can learn them.
That we can all develop.
I love that.
With practice.
So it's not about like being born with a special innovation gene.
No, not at all.
It's about cultivating those skills and making them a part of
like a daily practice
of your life.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what Dr. Rogers embodies in her journey.
She does, yeah.
Right. She's constantly questioning, experimenting, seeking out new ways to improve her business, create value for her clients.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It's very inspiring.
It shows that anyone can be an innovator.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what your industry is.
It doesn't matter your job title.
What your background is.
Yeah.
You can innovate.
It's about that mindset.
It is.
And those actions.
Okay, now before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, let's revisit one last book.
Okay.
That Dr. Rogers mentioned.
Okay.
How to Pitch an Idea by Scott Birkin.
Yes.
This is such a valuable resource.
I agree.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How brilliant your idea is.
It does not.
If you can't communicate it effectively.
You have to be able to get people on board.
You got to sell it. Yeah. And Birkin, he offers some really great advice on how to craft a compelling pitch.
Yeah.
That captures attention.
Right.
Builds interest. And ultimately persuades your audience to take action.
To do something.
Yeah, you want them to be so excited
Yeah.
that they want to be a part of it.
So one of the key takeaways
Okay, tell me.
from Birkin's book is to start with the problem.
Start with the problem.
Don't jump right into your solution.
Okay.
Right.
Don't lead with, here's this incredible thing I've created.
No.
No. Tell me about the problem.
You got to paint a vivid picture
Of the challenge.
of the challenge, the pain point.
The pain point.
That your idea is designed to solve.
So you're creating a sense of urgency.
Yeah. You want them to feel that.
Like, this is a problem that needs to be solved.
Yes.
And you have the solution.
You have the answer.
I like that.
Right. It's about creating that compelling narrative that draws people in.
Yeah, that hooks them.
That hooks them.
Makes them want to hear more.
Yeah, make them lean in.
I love that.
Right.
And once you've established that problem,
Yeah.
you can seamlessly transition
Yeah.
to presenting your solution
As the answer.
as the answer.
Right.
Highlight those benefits.
The value.
The value proposition, how it directly addresses
Yeah.
those pain points.
That you've just outlined.
It's simple,
It is.
but it's powerful.
Love it.
And you can use it anywhere.
Anywhere.
Whether you're pitching a new product to investors,
Right.
whether you're presenting a proposal to your boss,
Right.
or even just trying to convince your kids to eat their vegetables.
I love that analogy.
Right.
It's so true. And it ties back to what we were discussing earlier about communication and leadership.
It all comes back to communication.
Right. It's not enough.
It's not enough to just have those great ideas.
You have to be able to articulate them
Yes.
in a way that inspires others to take action.
To get on board.
That's where the true power lies.
Absolutely.
All right, welcome back. So we're in the final part of our deep dive into Dr. Monique Rogers' incredible speech.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It has. We've talked about leadership. We dove into the whole world of creativity.
Oh, get creative.
And now it's time to focus on that sweet spot where it all comes together.
Where it all merges.
Entrepreneurship.
I love it.
And Dr. Rogers, she really illustrates this beautifully with a story about one of ARRC's most successful ventures,
Right.
their backup and disaster recovery unit.
Interesting.
And what's so fascinating is that this game-changing service, it didn't come from like some top-down directive or some like stroke of genius from the CEO.
So it wasn't Dr. Rogers' idea?
Not initially.
Wow.
No. This innovative offering actually came from a team member during a brainstorming session.
Wow, that's amazing.
Just a simple suggestion.
That's so cool.
And it just highlights, I think, a crucial lesson for anyone looking to unlock their entrepreneurial potential.
What is it? What's that lesson?
It's about fostering a culture of collaboration.
Collaboration, yeah.
Where everyone on the team feels empowered to contribute their ideas.
Yeah.
No matter their role or their level of seniority.
Doesn't matter what your title is.
It doesn't matter.
Everyone has good ideas.
Like, brilliant ideas can come from anywhere.
That's so true.
And the more diverse perspectives that you can gather, the more innovative.
The better the ideas will be.
Your solutions are likely to be.
You don't need that fancy title to come up with that game-changing idea.
Right.
It's about the environment.
It's about creating that environment.
Where people feel safe to share.
Yeah.
To say what's on their mind.
Where curiosity is encouraged.
Yeah.
And where those like seemingly out there ideas.
Yeah, the crazy ones.
Yeah, they're given space to breathe.
They develop.
And Dr. Rogers and her business partner, they
created that.
They fostered that type of environment at ARRC.
And it worked.
And it led to the creation of this service that not only helped their clients, but also set their company apart in the marketplace.
They found a way to stand out.
It did.
From the competition.
So, okay, let's say you've got that brilliant idea, right?
Okay, got it.
You've fostered that collaborative environment.
And a great team.
You're ready to bring it to life.
What's next?
What's the next step?
I'm ready.
This is where effective communication.
Oh, here we go again.
Right.
Communication is key.
It's so important, and it's something that Dr. Rogers emphasizes throughout her speech. And she even references Scott Berkin's book.
Oh, yeah. How to Pitch an Idea?
How to Pitch an Idea.
Such a good book.
Which is like packed with practical tips
Yeah.
on how to craft that compelling narrative.
That captures attention.
That gets people
excited.
To take action.
To take action. I love it. So what's Berkin's approach?
What I appreciate about his approach and what Dr. Rogers also echoes in her speech is this emphasis on starting with the problem.
Oh, start with the problem.
Don't jump right into your solution.
Oh, that's so tempting.
Oh, it is, right?
They'd be like, look at this amazing thing I made.
I've got the answer,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Instead, you take the time to clearly articulate the problem.
Paint that picture. Help people understand.
Make them feel it.
Yeah, the pain point.
The struggle, that unmet need that your idea is designed to solve.
Because you're creating that urgency.
Yeah,
this needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And I've got the answer.
It's like setting the stage before the main act, right? You got to hook your audience, make them invested in the story.
Yeah, you got to get them on the edge of their seats.
And then you reveal
the solution.
A
big reveal.
And once you've established that problem, you can seamlessly transition to presenting your solution
as the answer.
Yeah. Highlight those benefits.
The value
proposition.
How it solves those pain points that you've just outlined.
It's such a simple framework.
It is.
But so powerful. You can use it anywhere. Pitching a new product to investors.
Right.
Presenting a proposal to your boss.
Convincing your kids to eat their vegetables.
That's my favorite one.
I love that one. It really just emphasizes how important communication is.
It's a key skill, not just for entrepreneurs,
right.
For leaders.
In any field.
It's
about being able to articulate your vision.
Yeah.
Your ideas.
Solutions.
To get people excited. To inspire them to take action.
Now, this brings us to Dr. Rogers' powerful closing message.
Oh, I love a good closing message.
Right. And she reminds us that leadership, creativity, entrepreneurship, they're not just like these abstract concepts. They're tools that we can all use to shape our own success.
It's about taking control.
Taking ownership of our journey.
Yeah.
Embracing those challenges as opportunities.
For growth.
And realizing that we have the power to create the future that we want.
Love it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's your next step?
Ooh, good question.
What one thing will you do differently?
Yeah, what will you do?
After exploring these insights from Dr. Rogers,
will you commit to building a more collaborative environment on your team?
Will you embrace failure
as a learning experience?
Right. Or maybe you'll dust off that brilliant idea that you've been putting out.
You've been too scared to share.
And start crafting that killer pitch.
You got this.
Right. Remember, the potential for greatness, it lies.
It's within all of us.
Within each of us.
Yeah.
Dr. Rogers' journey is proof.
It really is.
It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or having all the answers.
It's about taking action.
Taking action, experimenting, learning from those missteps. Yeah. Never giving up on those dreams.
I love that.
And if there's one final thought.
Okay, give it to me.
I want to leave you with.
I'm ready.
It's this. Never underestimate the power.
The power of a simple question.
Ooh, a question.
What if?
What if?
What if you could achieve
more than you ever thought possible?
That's the question.
What if you had the courage to step outside your comfort zone and unlock your true potential?
So good.
That's a powerful way to end our deep dive today.
It is.
We hope you found it insightful,
inspiring,
and
even life-changing,
and maybe even a little bit life-changing.
Keep those minds curious.
Keep those ideas flowing.
Keep taking action.
And those actions aligned with your dreams.
We'll see you next time.
Until next time, keep unlocking your potential.